Ladies and gentlemen, wanna share something that is my observation for a very long time right now about social media, school, home, street, job. We all are being influenced every day, getting information from people, family, friends, neighbor. And sometimes we don't qualify the people that we're taking information from. We must practice to be an investigator in your own personal right, and we are in some way, we are. But so much more, we need to be conscious of it. When you take information from people, especially on social media, people are putting up video left and right. And some of these information, I'm telling you, sometimes I caught myself. They put up an information and, it could get me upset. Or it could make you happy. It could change your mood for the day. So I want to say this real quick, get to the point. Like, for example, I want to use one particular thing, like, people are putting up information about black history, what racism and slavery and stuff like that. And sometimes, we all don't have the same knowledge. Some people don't get that are not deep on what happened in slavery. And you'll find somebody put up a video with some brothers talking about it. And sometimes they either talk about history of past history and slavery, or they either talk about religion or politics. And those things are good. Not saying it's bad, but the spirit behind whoever is transmitting the information, you are being influenced by that spirit. Same thing with the news media. You're being influenced. You're taking that person's spirit. It's a spirit behind everything, every word that's been said. If you're angry, you're hateful, you're bitter, or you're mad, or you're retaliating, you are listening to that kind of spirit. And listening for long enough, you gonna take it up. And if you are a very inspiring, motivating person, you will carry it. But if you're laid back, don't give a crap, lazy person, you will not really, go transmit it. But most of the time, because we are negative by nature, we always go carrying the stuff and saying it back. So one of my practice that I try to do when I listen to anything, I try to, if I have the time, I'll run references. Because nowadays, this phone technology, the encyclopedia is right in your hand. By the touch of a button. The world is in your hand. You can Google, Wikipedia, all that stuff, and check the history. And now I'm going to give you an example. Like someone put up a video with Dick Gregory. He was talking about some stuff, and he mentioned about the song Amazing Grace, how sweet that sound. So he went on talking about, who wrote that song? It was a white man, John Newton. Gone back in 1740, the guy was born, and he was somewhat a dude who became a captain of a ship, and he transports slave and whatever. And says this man, he's wickeder than the devil because what he did to slaves. And then how could Christians, you in church, singing that song? Now when I heard it, I like the song, but I never know the history of the song. I don't know who wrote it. So I'm like, really? And then I never put much attention to it, but I just put it on my shelf because I'm smart. Never carry that spirit with me. Later on, another year comes. A black brother again. His name is Will. Don't remember his name. Someone put up the video. His name is Wilkie. But he's a Christian from a church. But he's a songwriter. Guy studies very deep in college and study music. So he know the history about Amazing Grace, and he sang the song, and he also was given the history about Negro spiritual. Yeah, Negro spiritual and how they play on the black keys. An amazing grace. So he says, John Newton, again. So now I'm like, hold on. But the way he spoke of John Newton, it wasn't in a negative, bad spirit. He said, yeah, the dude was a captain of a slave ship, and Negroes was on that too. And John Newton was facing a storm one day on the sea, tearing up the ship, about to sink. And the man cried out to God, oh God, help us. Help me, please. He made a commitment to God. And then after a little while, few hours, the storm calmed and they made it. John Newton became a dedicated Christian, a clergyman, serving the Lord. And time goes on, the man wrote a letter and wanted to abolish slavery. So I went, this time now, the second video, and I went and did my research. I found out about John Newton back in the 17. Yeah, he was indeed a young man, grew in a family, and his father, remarried, and he was living with his father, but he felt aside, and he grew up, was in the Navy. Yeah, so he knew how to operate ship and work on ship. So this man was in the Navy, and in that time, slavery was being slaved by, everybody was being slave. Once you fight a war, and you're the winner, those people that lost becomes your slave, whether it be black, white, or Africans. So it wasn't only black people alone being enslaved. The problem I'm having with racism, but we're not talking about that now. We're talking about slavery. So John Newton was just going along with the thing of the day, slavery. So yes, he did trade slave and all that stuff when he was younger, and he commit himself to the Lord and start going into Christianity. He brought that to the church's attention that slavery is really wrong. We should abolish it. He wrote a letter to the government, and he had a friend inside of the politics, and he told his friend not to quit the job because his friend wanted to quit, and his friend stays there. So he told his friend, not, because I'm gonna need you. So he wrote a letter to the government, and his friend was right there, and they were able to address it in their conference that slavery must be abolished. John Newton fight to abolish slavery. He is the writer of the song Amazing Grace, how sweet the song will save a wretch like me. So Dick Gregory was saying a wretch, who's calling a wretch? Listen, dude, if you read Romans chapter 7 verse 14 going on up, it'll explain to you about human nature. We all wicked by human nature, and we are a wretch and a rebel. You need God in your heart, and that's basically what the Bible is about. Man and God, history on man and God, and the Bible tells you how man behave. And when a man have God inside of him, his behavior change. That's all about John Newton. The man was without God. He rolled along with the system of the day and all that they were doing, enslaving us black people, and did a lot of wicked things. I'm not praising the guy for doing that, but if he got converted and turned to God and make a change, you saw it in his action. I'm not going to condemn the guy. Dick Gregory, I don't take that off of him. So again, the spirit of who you're taking stuff off of, be careful what we hear these people saying on social media every day. We need to check them, be an investigator, check out what you're hearing. Like right now, you're hearing this. Check me out. See, I'm angry. I'm not hating nobody. I'm peaceful. I'm saying stay in love. Because Almighty God, you have to deal with him at the end of your life. At the end of the day, when it's all said and done, it's him and you. Okay? Nobody else, not me, him and you. Amen. Have a good day.